And coming up next on Focus Montreal, writing for Robert Munsch, a Kirkland family makes it to the finals of a national storytelling contest. Their tale after the break.
How about a chocolate Easter wombat? Wombat, said the lady. I don't even know what a wombat is.
That is the one and only Robert Munsch reading to kids on a visit to our studios 2 years ago. The beloved children's author has a heart as big as his talent. And this year he joined forces with the ABC Canada Literacy Foundation to launch the Munch at Home contest. The idea to get families writing stories together and reading together. Well, joining me now are Pina Pinizzotto and her daughter Sarah Randisi, the only Quebec finalists in the Munch at Home contest. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
How fun is this? You got to write a story for Robert Munsch. Now, you were a big part in writing this story, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
Tell me about the idea and how it came to you.
Well, first I wanted to put people in my story, but then I changed it to fruits because that's more like original. And then my neighbor helps me with the title.
And the title is, because we haven't told people yet.
The Funky Fruits.
The Funky Fruits. Pina, was it you that encouraged her to get into the Robert Munsch contest, or was this something she came up with on her own?
Actually, it was her English teacher, Tami Zuckerman's idea to do a class assignment.
Okay.
And at the same time, she thought it'd be a fun idea to enter the contest and see what happens. She thought it would be a good way to encourage the kids to write a Robert Munsch type story. So the idea was that the parents had to write with the kids. And so when she came up with the idea, we just kind of made it sound like a Robert Munsch story with the wiggling fruit and the stretching fruit and the singing fruit. And that's how we came up with the story, and it was because of the teacher mostly.
Sarah's going to read a bit of the story in a minute, but I want to ask you about Robert Munsch. Did you read, or your mom read to you a lot of Robert Munsch when you were a kid? Or do you have favorite Robert Munsch books?
I like all of them, but if I had to choose my top three, I would choose Stephanie's Ponytail, Purple, Green, and Yellow, and Moira's Birthday.
You like those three books? He came into our studios a few years ago and read to kids in our studios. He's just a terrific guy. Have you guys had a chance to meet him or correspond with him throughout the competition?
No, unfortunately not. We were hoping to be the chosen story so we'd get to meet him in person, but it didn't happen that way. But who knows, someday. ABC does want to do a special on maybe her class, so who knows?
He might show up. Well, actually, when I contacted them about speaking with you, they said that they were really impressed with your story and all the stories that came from that class.
Right.
So they were kind of hoping you guys would win, too, I think, because they wanted to come here. And that's Robert Munsch we just showed you. Okay, Sarah, can you read us a little bit of the Funky Fruits? This is the end of the story. It's all about fruits wanting to play guitar, right?
Mango Max jumped out and said, "I want to play the keyboard." Watermelon Will said, "Bass guitar for me." Strawberry Sarah said, "Now we can make a band and play music every day. We will call ourselves the Funky Fruits." Everyone jumped up and down and cheered. They practiced until they came up with the best song ever that they put on the internet, and the Funky Fruits became a famous band.
The Funky Fruits are a famous band. That's a little bit of this story. It's quite a bit longer. How long did it take you to write it and come up with your characters, your Mango Max and your Strawberry? And
About a week.
Yeah? And your mom helped you?
Yeah.
And did your brother pitch in at all?
A little bit.
A little bit? And your dad, was he in there helping out too?
Not really, but our neighbor did help us with the title. So that was a really cool title to help us out with. Yeah.
A community thing.
Yeah.
And you talked about the school and how important and influential the teacher was here.
Yes.
Do you think these kinds of projects are really important for kids Sarah's age? You're about, how old are you?
10.
10 years old. Do you think these are the kinds of things that get them inspired in school?
I think so, because I could tell you, not only are we totally excited for making the top 10, but the school has been totally, on their own cloud nine, and everyone's talking about it. So it's really exciting for everybody in the whole community. So I think it's a great idea.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And tell me about your experience at school. You just read that here, and you did great, by the way. But you actually got to read the whole story for your school as well, right?
Well, just my class, my principal, and the other class.
Were you nervous?
Grade 5.
The other grade
5?
A little bit. And how did it go over? Did they like it?
Yeah.
What was your thought, Sarah, when the ABC Foundation contacted you and said, because this is a nationwide thing, so there were lots and lots of entries, and all of a sudden you're one of 10 finalists in this. What was your feeling?
I was, shocked, excited, I was proud of myself and my mom.
Yeah, you should be. Was your brother happy for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
The brother's sitting in the studio in the background there watching, which is why I keep bringing him up. And I'm sure for you as well, were you surprised when they contacted you?
Very. When the lady called to tell me that we were one of the top 10 finalists, it was kind of unbelievable. And it had to sink in a little bit, but as soon as I got off the phone, I told her, and we're like, oh my gosh, we can't believe it. We're in the top 10, and we couldn't wait to tell Ms. Zuckerman, especially on Monday morning.
Yeah.
So, and of course, our friends and family. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So, Sarah, has this inspired you to write more, to maybe do more kids' stories and other things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah? And what about it has inspired you so much?
Because I found out, like, I was chosen in the top 10, so I was like, when, like, they chose my story, like, out of, like, thousands of people, and that inspired me to write, because that's how I know that I write good, and people will enjoy my stories, too.
No, for sure. I really enjoyed it when I read it on the internet last night. It's a fun story. And I'm going to read it to my son, because I said those are perfect all for reading to
They
kids.
are.
Thank you both very much for coming in. It's
Thank
great
you.
meeting you, and congratulations.
Thank
That
you.
is a huge accomplishment. You should be proud of it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That is Pina Pinizzotto and her daughter Sarah Randisi. They're the only Quebec finalists in the Munsch at Home contest. Now, if you want to read all of the Munsch at Home finalist stories, including Sarah's story that she just read you a snippet from, you can log on to abccanada.org, and all of the finalists are up there, including the winner. And that is Focus Montreal for this week. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Have a great Saturday evening, everyone. Take care. Good night.